Have you ever felt tired? Not in your body, but somewhere deeper? Lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, asking yourself, what's the point of all this? Money, fame, power, or just peace? And maybe, some nights, you just smirk and think, life's kind of a joke, isn't it? If that sounds familiar, no, you're not weird. You're not broken. You might just be philosophical. Because whether you realize it or not, we all live by some kind of philosophy. And today we're exploring 6 of the most powerful ones, the quiet systems behind how we think, feel, and live. Not to label you, but to help you see yourself a little clearer. Stoicism. This one's ancient. We're talking Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius, kind of ancient. But don't let the age fool you. This mindset is still super relevant today, especially in a world full of stress, pressure, and constant comparison. At its core, Stoicism teaches this. Focus on what you can control. Let go of what you can't. Simple, right? But surprisingly powerful. Say your boss is in a bad mood or the weather ruins your weekend plans. A Stoic would say, why stress? That's outside your control. Instead, they'd focus on how they respond to the situation, calmly, rationally, with inner strength. Now ask yourself this. Do you often feel overwhelmed by social expectations? Do you worry a lot about money, career, or what other people think of you? Do you wish you could feel more emotionally steady, like nothing can shake you? If you nodded yes to any of that, Stoicism might be your hidden philosophy. Stoics can sometimes take things too far. They might bottle up their emotions or act like they don't care. Even when they do, they risk becoming emotionally numb. Not just to the bad stuff, but also the good. So a tip from me. If you feel like life is spinning out of control, Stoicism can give you peace and perspective. But don't forget, you're human. It's okay to feel, to care, to hurt. Existentialism. This philosophy gained traction after the chaos of war, when people started asking, what's the point? Thinkers like Sartre and de Beauvoir said, life has no built-in meaning. You have to create your own. Sounds intense, right? But for a lot of us, it hits home. Let's say you're in a career everyone praises, but deep down, it feels empty. Or maybe you keep wondering, who am I really? You might feel like life should be more than just following rules, routines, or other people's expectations. That restlessness, that constant search for identity or purpose, yeah, that's pure existentialism in action. So if you feel disconnected from society's default path, spend a lot of time reflecting on your true self, then this philosophy might just be your home base. But here's the thing. Existential freedom can feel a bit like being dropped in the middle of a giant maze with no map. It's empowering, but also overwhelming. So here's my advice. Existentialism gives you the permission to live life on your terms. But don't try to solve every big question overnight. Start small, choose what matters to you. Not to your parents, not to society, not to Instagram. Absurdism. Absurdism is like the rebellious cousin of existentialism. French philosopher Albert Camus, yeah, the guy who wrote The Stranger, said something like this. Life is absurd. We search for meaning in a world that offers none. But even knowing that, we keep living. That's the most beautiful rebellion of all. Kind of poetic, huh? It tells you, yes, life is unpredictable and often unfair, but you get to keep dancing in the storm anyway. That act of smiling, laughing, creating, choosing to live is the meaning. So if you hate being told to just stay positive when things are clearly a mess, you might be an absurdist at heart, and honestly, that's not a bad thing. Absurdism gives you space to embrace both chaos and joy, without pretending things are always okay. But there's a warning label here too. Some people who lean into absurdism may start to feel aimless. Like, if nothing truly matters, why bother? So here's a tip from me. It's totally okay to laugh at life's weirdness. Just don't let the absurd become an excuse to stop caring. Find beauty in the small stuff. A good conversation, a terrible joke, a song that hits just right. Because choosing to keep going, even in the face of nonsense, that's where the magic is. Nihilism. Nihilism is the belief that life has no inherent meaning, no ultimate truth, and that most of what we believe, morality, purpose, values, is just made up. It sounds dark, and honestly, it can be. People often turn toward nihilism after something breaks their trust in the world. Maybe they've lost someone, gone through betrayal, or just watched too much of the news and thought, if this is the world we live in, what's the point? So, you once believed in justice, then saw good people suffer for no reason. You thought love would heal everything, but your heart got shattered. You wanted to believe in something, anything, but now, you just don't. So if you often question everything and find no satisfying, feel emotionally numb or disconnected from society's values, think most systems are fake and most people are pretending, then yeah, you might have a little nihilist energy running through you. But, and this is important, nihilism isn't the end of the road. In fact, for many people, it's the breaking point before a breakthrough. They tear down old beliefs to eventually build new ones. They reject fake meaning so they can create something real from scratch. Here's my reminder, if you're in this space, don't stay stuck in destruction mode. Once you've cleared the rubble, start planting seeds. Remember what philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." So, if you've lost your why, it's okay. Just don't stop looking for it. Humanism. Humanism is all about putting people at the center. It says, we don't need a grand cosmic plan to do good. We can just care. Think of it this way. Stoicism says, control yourself. Existentialism says, create your own meaning. Nihilism says, there is no meaning. But humanism, it says, let's take care of each other anyway. Volunteers, even when no one's watching. Believes in justice, fairness, and human rights. Cries over sad movies, but still keeps hoping for a better world. Yeah, that's humanist energy right there. So, if you often find yourself standing up for others, even when it's hard, believe that small acts of kindness can ripple out and matter. Still try to do the right thing, even when the world feels unfair. Then this might be your inner philosophy. But here's the flip side. Humanists can get hurt badly, because they often hold people to high standards. Yes, the world can be harsh, but that doesn't mean your kindness is wasted. Just be mindful of your boundaries. Not everyone will treat you with the same care you give them, and that's not your fault. But your belief in humanity, that's powerful, and the world needs more of it. Utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is the cost-benefit analysis of philosophy. So, what's its main idea? The right thing to do is whatever brings the most good to the most people. This mindset is especially popular in public health, politics, and even tech design. For example, when hospitals face a shortage of resources, how do they decide who gets treatment first? They may follow a utilitarian principle, save the most lives, even if that means making some painful decisions. A person who makes pros and cons lists before every big choice, always asks what will help the group, not just me, is willing to sacrifice comfort if it leads to something more impactful. If you tend to zoom out and think in terms of long-term results and big-picture consequences, utilitarianism might be your default mode. So if you often think about how your actions affect others, try to make decisions that maximize happiness or well-being, care more about fairness and function than feelings, then yep, you're probably leaning utilitarian. But here's the tricky part. Utilitarians can sometimes forget about the individual in the pursuit of helping the majority. They might ignore someone's pain because it makes sense on paper. And if you're always focused on efficiency, it's easy to forget we're not machines. So keep being thoughtful, keep caring about outcomes. Just don't lose sight of the human side. Sometimes what's less efficient might still be more compassionate, and both matter. And last but not least, pragmatism. Pragmatism is all about what works. Forget abstract theories or perfect ideals. A pragmatist wants solutions they can use, test, and see real results from. This philosophy grew out of 19th century American thinking, especially in times when people needed ideas that function, not just sounded good in books. The one who tries different routines until they find the one that helps them sleep better. Doesn't care if a belief is technically true, just asks, is it helpful? Avoids drama, avoids overthinking, and goes straight to action. Yeah, that's pragmatist energy. Pragmatists can sometimes fall into a trap where only short-term results matter. They might ignore deeper emotional needs, long-term values, or ethical concerns if those things slow them down. My advice is, Keep doing what works, but every now and then pause and ask, is this working only for now, or is it working for who I want to become? Quick fire recap. Alright, before we wrap up, let's play a quick game. It's called Guess the Philosophy. I'll say a sentence people often use, and you guess which philosophy it sounds like. You've got 3 seconds for each one. Ready? You often say, I can't control it. It's Stoicism. You say, I don't see any meaning in this. 3 seconds, go. It's Existentialism. You laugh and say, the world is just bizarre. What do you think? That's Absurdism. You feel like everything is fake anyway. It's Nihilism. You believe people still deserve to be loved. Say it in 3 seconds. It's Humanism. You say, whatever works, let's just do that. Final 3 seconds. It's Pragmatism. How many did you get right? Comment below with your philosophy combo and see who matches your vibe. And hey, here's something to remember. There's no one perfect philosophy. What matters is what fits you right now. Sometimes you're a stoic, calm in the storm. Other times, you're a nihilist, trying to find your way back to meaning. That's okay. Life isn't about picking one belief and sticking to it forever. What's truly important is knowing what you're living by, not letting it live for you.